What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back.
Today, we're talking about death.
Is it something that you think about every day? Probably not. You probably just think the next day is going to come. But you technically never know.
Yeah. See, here's how I think of it, right? There's different types of people when it comes to how much and how deeply you think about death. There's, I want to say, like the average to below average thinker who maybe gives it a thought only a couple times in their life. And for someone like me and him, that's hard to believe because I would say, although we don't think about it every day, which is a bad thing if you think about it every day, we have deeper thoughts on it. Like once in a while, right? Like you'll think, what is death? Like, where do you go?
Mm-hmm.
And, you could say heaven, you could say that doesn't exist, you could say something else. It all depends on what you truly believe in, but you really don't know. And then you have people, a very few majority, that probably think about it like every day and that stress about dying. That's not good. You don't want to do that. Because when you think about stuff too much that you know you're never going to get the answer to, it's going to eat you.
Yeah, it's bad to be on both sides, I would say. It's bad to think about it too often, but it's bad to also not think about it, not really give it too much thought. The thing that I kind of struggle with, I guess that you would say, would be at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's black and white. It's no one knows for 100% certainty what really happens after you die, right? There's religious people, they have certain beliefs. There's atheists that have no beliefs in any of that type of thing. There's people that believe in other things, such as like reincarnation. There's quantum like immortality theories where
being reborn is everything.
If you die in one universe,
yeah.
you go to another universe where you didn't die, so that you technically never die until you're around like your 80s and you're old. And the people that die of old age are just because there's no other universes they go to, because in every universe they just died of old age, which is kind of crazy to think about. Because another thing that I find absolutely insane is like just quantum physics itself, and the fact that they've ran tests to where when you observe something with a camera, like electrons, one of the smallest things you can observe, that they act differently based on if they're being looked at, viewed through a camera,
really?
Or if they're not.
Really?
Which, I don't know like the solidity behind those tests, but that could show a sort of simulation life that we would be like in, to the point where if someone's viewing something, it exists. You only know what you see. You're like creating things as they go. That room to the right of me, it doesn't exist right now unless I walked into it. Before walking into it, this room doesn't exist. All I know that exists is the camera and what I'm looking at right now. So, like, there's just all these things, and it's difficult to wrestle with as a deep thinker.
Yeah.
Which I think both of us are definitely fall under that category. But man, this is a topic. It's a freaking topic, dude.
What was the original thing? Talking about death. Yeah, death. Like, there's death, right? You can overthink about death. Like, there's a couple things. I mean, there's a good amount, but I would say there's like, few things compared to how many things there actually are to think about that you can think about in a super deep level. Mm-hmm. So, like, death, space and time, and religion are probably like one of the top three, I would say, at least off the top of my head. And I might have made a video on this before, but you want to be at a point where you're consciously like thinking about this stuff and giving it some deep thought, because to me it doesn't make sense. Like, let's say for example a Christian just grows up Christian and they don't give it any thought. Like, they don't give it any thought. They're just like, okay, I grew up like this and my parents did it and my grandpa did it, so like I'm just gonna be a Christian and it's probably like right, where to like me, I kind of want to find more reasoning in things and find it out for myself. Not to say that's not real, but I'm just saying for everything. So there's definitely a balance, like you were saying, between how much you want to think about this and how little you want to. Because when you think about stuff like this too much, the thing that sucks is there's no answer to it. we're never going to find an answer unless you're one of those lucky people who you just like, you know, an angel comes down. And, you know, people will say they just saw like God or saw an angel come down and like have those special interactions with God or a higher power. And, you know, if that happens to you, you're one of the, you know, such a microscopic percent that you can live freely in that, you know, part of your head to where you don't have to like worry if it's real or not.
Yeah.
Because you see it.
One thing I think about is how crucial it is to actually sit down and think about these things, because tomorrow is quite literally never promised. Anything could happen to you. You think something couldn't happen to you, that thing could happen to you. Probability wise, it's not high, but there's always a chance of certain things happening. So to think deeply about these things and have these thoughts, to at least come to some sort of conclusion that you strongly back and believe in your heart, is a lot more comforting than not giving it a second thought until it's too late and there you go, you're gone. You had no expectation of being gone, but you just are, right? So I think it's definitely going to be something moving forward that I'm going to think about more, as each day isn't guaranteed, but
yeah,
it's just something to think about.
It's not like you're gonna get an answer,
and you won't
most likely.
You won't get an answer. Realistically, you could. I had a buddy talk to, or not. I wouldn't say. I think it was one of a preacher that came to my church. He studied all the different religions. He was in college. He was asking all these different professors of each individual religion, why should he follow that religion? Why should he do this? He was asking everyone. Also had this friend's dad who did a similar thing where he went around and was asking people about their religions, asking professors, getting more knowledge on the subject, thinking for himself. He came to the conclusion of Christianity, which I've grown up Christian throughout my childhood as well, but obviously there's things I wrestle with and there's thoughts that I have that, make me think otherwise. But I think critical thinking is also very important when it comes to these topics. You can't just take them at baseline, what you're given, what you've been raised and born with, and just run with it the rest of your life, because that's just realistically not fair to yourself, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say, like, definitely, give these things thought, but unless you're part of that 0.01% chance, you're probably not going to come to, like, a 100% guaranteed answer. Like, I'm talking angel comes down and you're like, okay, that's God, right? But the whole point of this is just to, clue you guys in to just think about this stuff a little bit and don't just be so mindless about everything, because, you don't have tomorrow. And I guess you're not going to find the answer to this stuff, but you can live tomorrow differently, knowing that, there's so many unknowns.
If you have the mindset that tomorrow you're going to die, I saw this TikTok a while ago. It said, tomorrow you will die. All your dreams, all your things, all the things you're holding off, they die with tomorrow, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. So I would say go do what you want to do today. Think about what you're doing today. Think about your future and live in the moment.
Go for it, guys. Yeah, well, appreciate you watching the video. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, helping out the new channel. New post coming tomorrow. Have a great night, guys.